What's up everybody, it's Bella, welcome back to my channel. Now, I know this might be a little bit weird, the fact that I do not have face cam right now, but basically the footage for this video, the face cam for this video, was corrupted and it wasn't letting me download it at all, and the next episode just got completely lost. So you're just going to get a quick little voiceover from me to explain some stuff that might be going on, but for the most part, it's probably just going to be dialogue between the characters. Sorry in advance for that. I know it's not what I normally do, but that's what I'm able to do without entirely scrapping the next hour and 30 minutes of gameplay in this and the next episode. So I'm just going to do that, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, I'm just going to let my house self play the game and let Kratos and Atreus take it away.
Move.
Thanks. There's the mountain! Let's go!
Not yet.
It's fine. See? Help!
I also like this little bit of gameplay, this cinematic, because the Kratos is going slow, because he knows if he rushes into it, which is what Kratos is kind of known for, he's going to end up with them both in trouble, but I really like it. Also, whenever I saw this for the first time, my instant thought was Shrek! I'm looking down! From the first Shrek movie. Also, apparently I'm a big fan of Shrek. I didn't realize how big of a fan I was until fairly recently,
Your haste
so.
will cost us.
Sorry. More Draugr. But these aren't moving. Are they dead? I mean, more dead?
Boy.
Not dead, not dead!
Remember, accuracy over speed.
One part that I also do enjoy about this is the little things that Kratos says to him throughout the journey. Like, for example, he said, I forgot what he said, but he says, like, hey, remember, like, you have to be accurate. It doesn't matter how fast you're being, you have to be accurate. You have to get that shot. It doesn't matter how fast you are if you don't miss. So I like the little, I don't know if it's encouraging words, because they're definitely not encouraging, but they're like little tidbits, little lessons in between everything. And I like how Kratos is with Atreus for the most part. He's teaching him things along the way. He's like making into, not a lesson plan, but you know what I mean. He's like bringing this stuff they told me in eventually in his life, and he's doing it on the fly, and I like it. He's like, remember, like, this is what you have to do. You have to remember that all the time. So I really enjoy that.
That was the last one. Was I better?
Take even more time. Does not matter if you fire only once. Show me control.
But like that, he said, it doesn't matter if you fire once, you have to control it, because Kratos, isn't really a man of control. He has had some control issues in the past, so I like how he's teaching his son to be a better man, and God, basically, than he ever was, because he took everything for granted. So I love how he's teaching this boy to do that.
The giants used to gather here to trade with the gods a long time ago. Wonder if Odin was ever here. Whoa! Above us! Something's breaking through! Something's breaking through the wall!
I remember when I first played this game, like, expecting something huge and ginormous to come out of wherever that was, but it's just like, it shows this guy. I think there's like might be one or two more that we might fight, but it's just this like big ass guy. One thing that I am slightly disappointed in this game is the amount of boss fights and the amount of different characters. We definitely see different characters. We see, like, obviously we see different characters, but I mean like different enemies. We don't see them that much, and if we are, they're just kind of like different colors of the same thing. There's like a small handful of enemies that we see, and it kind of sucks. Like, I just remember like the big boss fights that we used to have in the old God of War games. And I kind of understand how they dialed it back a little bit, but I would have preferred more variety in the game, in the fighting, particularly. I swear I'm not that bad at video games. Like, obviously I'm not good at video games, but I don't remember ever getting this low of health in this game nearly as much as I have in this playthrough. I remember, I think the first episode I died like 5 or 6 times. I don't know how much of that was on camera. I don't remember. But that was just so much more difficult than I ever imagined it being. So that's like, I don't know why I was having such a tough time with this playthrough in particular. In particular? Is that a word? In particularly? I don't know. That.
Do you hear that? What is it?
We will see. Stay close.
What is that?
So I remember here in the footage, I made a really bad joke asking the skeleton for directions to the mountain. I was like, hey, Mr. Skeleton Dude, do you know how to get to the mountain from here? I think I took a wrong turn. Really bad joke, but I still felt like including it because I can. Out of all of the enemies and boss fights, this is the one that I despise the most. Honestly, they're not that difficult. They're pretty weak, honestly, compared to all the other enemies that we face/have faced. It's just, they're very tedious in the sense that they will do that, in particular turn to this mist, dust, whatever, and when they're in that stage, you can't hit them. So it's very, very tedious, and a lot of times I just end up using the boy for like 99% of the time. I think I've only done the finishing R3 move on them once or twice, because it's so difficult to stun them. You basically just have to hit them with Atreus over and over again, or at least that's how I've done it. Is that right? Probably not, but that's the only way I figured out how to do it. It took me, oh my god, it was rough. It was rough to say the least. Whenever I first played this game with our abundance, I hated them. Still do. Alright, so we're a little bit farther ahead, and we found another Nornir chest. I just skipped through all of it. And this is, oh, never mind. Yeah, we get another Apple of Eden, which I think is supposed to be like the Apples of Eden, or a similar thing to that. Also, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Eden? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not quite sure. This is one mechanic that I find interesting, and I actually kind of like when Kratos is forced to do this, like he has to throw his axe. Particularly, I like the one in previously where he had to hold the axe and go do something else and call the axe back to hold the door open. That I thought was really cool. I like it because, like, kind of, especially the one where he didn't have to ask for an axe for a minute. It kind of like forces him to not do anything, which I think is really cool, especially in the beginning of the boss, in the beginning of the game. I think it's really cool.
Oh, what's that smell?
Now! Are they Hellwalkers? They're untouched. Look! Someone start the fires! Sigmund, your knives! So many days without meat.
Meat? Wait, us?
Behind me.
What if they change like the others? We'll have to keep them alive. Strip off their meat. A little at a time.
This fight is mine alone.
I like how he tells his boy to stay back. He doesn't want his son fighting humans, which I think is very interesting. He doesn't want his boy to experience that. He doesn't want his boy to take a life unnecessarily. I'm not necessarily saying this is unnecessary, but he doesn't want his boy to take a human life, because Kratos has taken many lives, both deserving and not, but then again, who's the judge of that? But I like how he has his boy stay back, and even though he has his boy stay back, this happens. Kratos tries to protect his son, and in the process of doing that, ends up making it worse, almost. But also, I think this is kind of odd, because this is pretty sure this is the only time we see humans in the entire game, and I just think that's odd. I'm just going to let the scene play out for a minute. I know this isn't the time or the moment, but Kratos' fingers, his thumb, is huge.
Come then. We have a long journey. Wait here.
That is just a heartbreaking scene and moment, even though there's not really any words said between the two. Just the look in Atreus' face says it all. Like, he just took a life for the first time, like a human life. And he was trying to be strong, but he's still a little boy, you know? Like, he should feel emotion. He shouldn't have to close himself all to it. I understand where his dad's coming from, because his dad, Kratos, was a Spartan general. He was used to killing people, but his son isn't. He wasn't born and raised to do that. Like, he knows to hunt animals that for food, for sustenance, not just for protection. So he's not used to doing that. And I think I like that dynamic between the two, how Kratos is like, you have to pull your heart to it, but Atreus is like crying because he just took his first life. I like that shift between the two characters.
They came back. They came back.
It is finished.
I want to leave here.
Then collect yourself. We must find a way out. Here. Find something to pull me up.
Okay.
I also like this, because a lot of times in video games, when a character takes their first life, when they kill someone for the first time, they don't react to it, which I think is ridiculous. Like, there would be a reaction, especially if you've never done it before. But I like how now the boy is hesitant. He is hesitant. At first, like, whenever the dad tells him to do something, he does it, but the dad, or Kratos, I keep on calling him the dad. I mean, he is the dad, but you know what I mean. At first, Kratos would be like, hey, come on, let's go.
Atreus.
Hop on my shoulder, hop on my hands,
Jane.
I'll prop you up.
Jane. Right.
And Atreus would be running at the opportunity, but he, like, hesitated. Like, even right now, he's not going at the pace that he normally would be. He's slowed down. Because
You are in your head, boy.
it affected him. It
go.
affected him a lot. Like,
You
I
would've
wish
killed
this
you.
would have gone on a little bit more, like, just a little bit more, oh, this
didn't
is
know
sad, this is affecting me. After this, it isn't really
We will go
said
home,
or
boy.
spoken of much.
What?
I think there's
You
one more
give up this
instance
easily.
coming up very soon
So
that is very
close to the
similar, where
start.
he
Wait,
hesitates
no.
and doesn't do
I'm
something,
not
so
giving
I'll
up. I
mention
can
that
do this.
whenever we come to
I
it.
just have to, catch my breath. Come on up. I'm ready.
Listen to me. To be effective in combat, a warrior must not feel for his enemy. The road ahead is long and unforgiving. No place for a boy. You must be a warrior.
I understand.
Can't get this slow-eyed cocklump to cross the bridge.
It's because she's scared of something in the trees over there.
There's what now?
Father, throw your axe at those trees on the other side of the bridge. The ones with the white trunks.
You were right.
Say, you must be smart or something, boy. You are a boy, aren't you? Ha!
Does she have a name?
I don't know. Rude bastard ain't ever asked mine, so ain't ever asked hers. Ah! Ha!
What's yours?
Brock.
Vera Logan.
Say, you're not gonna believe me, but that axe you got, it was me what made her. Me and my brother. Was one of our best. So don't let nobody else go work on her except for us two. Ah! You gotta handle her special, or she'll wreck beyond fixing. I can enhance her for you right now if it so pleases you, son of a bitch. So what say you? Ah!
You are right. I do not believe you. Come, boy.
There's a rune in the shape of a fork under the grip. No, digger beach ya doomber. That was our brand, my brother and me, before we split. I got half of it right here, see? Look, you want I should upgrade her or not?
Very well. I expect an improvement.
So, where's the other half of the brand?
All my dumb brothers got it. But I got all the talent. Look! Now you're talking.
I was low-key so excited when I found out that this game had an upgrading and a crafting system. You get to craft different armor and other stuff later on. You get to upgrade them and make you better. I love that. I love games where you can upgrade stuff. So I really enjoy that. And it also works with the open world style that this game chose to go with, and I'm so happy that they chose to go with that. There are so many amazing little things. Even after platinuming the game, I still notice little things here and there. I've platinumed this game. It's one of 4 games I've platinumed. So that's really exciting. And also, look, also you can upgrade the boy. You can be different colors depending on what you like and what you value over other things. So I love that. I love that he gets to be a part of it too, and he gets to be upgraded as well. I really, really like that.
Well, don't look now, but our friends who were hiding in the trees are back for more. Go on, give that axe a twirl.
Got me behind there?
Oh, you don't break nothing.
This is what I was talking about just a little bit ago. How Atreus is hesitant. He doesn't fight with his dad since the very beginning, though it hasn't been that long. Atreus has always unhesitantly fought with his dad by his dad's side. This is the first time he hasn't, because he's scared. It affected him more than like Kratos says, or like the game really says or talks about. It affected him, and I love that subtlety to Atreus being like, hey, can I go with you and hide from the enemies? Like, I don't want to fight them, I don't want to kill them. I love that. I love that subtlety, but also obvious that like why he's doing it. I really, really like that.
Say, your paw can kill. You gonna learn to do that too?
I'm not sure.
This road, it leads to the mountain.
Should put you in the right direction, sure. Want to see my wares again?
Brock,
Fuck else you need?
how come your brother's got half your brand?
'Cause I ain't in a working relationship with that footlicker no more. I wasn't about to let him use it without me, and he likewise. Only thing to do was split the brand 50-50 down the middle. Guess that was the last thing we saw eye to eye on. What, you want a hug? Hit the road.
Sorry.
Well, what else were we talking about?
You left me to fight alone.
I did.
People are one thing. Everything else you fight. Until I say stop or we are dead. Understand? Pull your weight or we go home.
I understand.
Good then.
See, even Kratos mentions it. He's like, you left me to fight by myself. Granted, Kratos could have handled that and so much more by himself because he's
Back here
freaking
again.
Kratos, because that's what he does. But he's like, you can't just leave me to fight alone. You don't leave someone to fight alone. Even though that's not exactly what he said, but that's kind of how I interpreted it. He's like, you don't leave someone to fight alone. You fight by their side. Even, like, he's like, anything else, we fight. You don't fight. We don't kill humans, but we fight everything else. You don't leave me to fight by myself. I like that. I really like that. I think this whole game is just going to be me gushing over little things that I like and that I enjoy.
I'll be thinking of a name for
Bye,
you.
Rock.
How about I name her fucking gratitude? Hey, fucking gratitude, come over here. I like it.
Also, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, how Kratos doesn't have his axe for a split second. I don't think the game does this, but I would have loved to see it where Kratos doesn't have his weapon, but he has to fight. I think that would be really, really cool. They don't do that, but I would have loved to see it. I love that. Also, this is one of the areas that and there's a lot of bugs. This is one of the areas that I kind of liked and I thought was really cool, and like, I don't know, it felt different. It felt different and broke up the pace of the game a little bit. I don't know if that's the right words, but I liked how this like looked evil and maniacal and disturbing, and the spikes I think is really cool. I should probably wait until you see the whole thing because you haven't seen the whole thing yet.
That looks inviting.
That just looks so cool. This is what I was talking about. So we have to like throw this to lift everything up, simple puzzle mechanic. And then we have to do that. Then we have to go across, as long as Kratos, doesn't bug out, because my controller was broken. I think I figured it out, and I got my 2 other controllers working. I just have to fix this one that I was using for this. But this I like. This I really, really like. The fact that Kratos does not have his weapon. Obviously, I could jump across and use my weapon and just crush them, but that's not fun. I love this. I love this. I wish they did stuff like this more. I don't think they do it really anything else, but I love this so much. I don't know if you noticed that, but that guy got pushed into the spikes. I freaking love pushing my enemies off and into spikes or into an abyss or off a cliff. I think that is so cool. Doesn't happen a whole lot, or at least I haven't been able to do it a whole lot in my previous playthroughs, but I think it looks so freaking cool. Also, I love his hand-to-hand combat and how he uses his shield and does the famous Spartan kick. That's just mainly because my controller's bugging out because the trigger's broken. But I think this is so cool, the hand-to-hand combat. I love it so much. Oh, I'm gushing over this game. I need to calm down. And here we have yet another Narnia chest that I just decided to skip past. But here we have a Horn of Bloodmead. So this increases our maximum rage. I also like the subtle nods to the mythology and to the culture, because this is a game based on Norse mythology, so it makes sense. But I'm pretty sure in Nordic mythology and Celtic cultures, they drank out of horns. Not necessarily blood mead, but they drank mead and ale and that type of stuff out of it. So I think that's really cool. Also, I love this cinematic as well. Also, the transition. The transitions in this game do not get talked about enough. The transition from gameplay to cutscene is seamless, and I love the decision to do that. I wish more games did do that, but I understand how difficult it is to have the one camera angle throughout the whole thing, so I understand. But I love the boy just like gushing at the mountain, be like, "It's so close, I wish my mom was here," and like Kratos, just comfort your boy. Give him a nice pat on the back. Give him a dad pat on the back.
Boy.
Just make sure you don't pat him too hard that you'll yeet him off a cliff. That's all I ask of you, Kratos.
Hey, look at that. What is it?
Boy,
Look, there are runes written along the side.
what does it say?
As we are, we two, we three. As I alone can never be.
A riddle.
Maybe there's a clue around here. The rings are turning. Come back down. That's it. I see runes.
Boy, what do those runes say?
Oh, it says family. That's not a clue. It's the answer. What I alone can never be. Right?
Use your knife and trace the runes into the sand.
Really?
I personally really like that riddle. I think it's really cool. Because it's like, I alone can
Something
never be.
happened.
You can't be a family by yourself. And it's something that multiple people are involved in and have to work towards, and it's like an effort thing. And again, reading too much into it, but that's what I do. Also, those elves that are looking at me are creepy. It creeped me out the first time because I didn't notice it before, and oh my god, it looks so creepy. But yeah, I like how it's like, and I also see it as like, Kratos, you can't be a family by yourself, dude. Like, You have to work, you have to like be there, and like you can't be a family with just yourself. So I like that. I like that.
Boy, these tracks.
A boar, maybe? Not sure, but I'll find it.
Go. It is important for a warrior to keep his skills sharp.
On that note, we are going to leave it there. I know this episode has been a little bit different and a lot shorter than normal, but, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But I like also how Kratos is like, we got to keep our skills sharp, and he's like keeping his boy like on his toes and always like teaching him something, even if it's in the midst of battle or after they haven't had a fight for a while. And he's like, hey, we gotta hunt, we gotta make sure you know what you're doing, even though he does. But yeah, we're gonna leave it there. As always, my name is Bella. Hope to see you guys in the next one, and peace.